It is Wednesday night, June 8th, 2022, and you're listening or watching to a brand new episode of the Kicking Out Podcast. Starting this episode hot as I see I'm having some camera difficulties. Austin Shepard joining me tonight, filling in for Paul Zartman, aka the Brooklyn Brawler. Who knows where Paul's at tonight?
Did you break your camera?
Hi.
That's just me now.
I'm working on the camera as we speak.
You didn't. Your cameras are scared of this title above my head right here, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah,
It's never seen it in my house, so
that's true. It's scary. Normally, it's over the Brooklyn Brawler's shoulder, poor little feller.
Yep.
It's a fixture.
He's drowning in his sorrows tonight somewhere.
That's all right. He probably got rained on tonight, so
Probably did. He probably did. But pretty fun episode of Dynamite tonight. Interesting episode. I saw a lot of people complaining about it on Twitter. A lot of people thought they kind of punted with Game 3 of the NBA Finals going on, with Road Rager coming up next week. But I thought there was some good stuff. I did think there was some stuff that wasn't so good.
yeah. I mean, starting off, I was really hyped about this battle royal, and then I almost kind of forget how I dislike the casino battle royal where 6 men enter at a time. It kind of gets lost. Some of the guys get lost as they come into the match. So I don't know. I wasn't really hyped about, I don't know, halfway through the match. Towards the end, it was pretty good though. But yeah, I don't know. It didn't get me fired up for the next, hour and a half.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. There was so many guys in the ring at one time, and there were so many guys I could point to and say, "He's not winning. He's not winning. He's not winning." I did like later in the show the explanation of why Hangman and Wardlow weren't contestants in the battle royal. I did like that, even though Wardlow's, I'll touch on that when we speak on his segment. His kind of didn't make sense, but yeah, I don't know. It wasn't one of my favorite battle royals they've had. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, towards the end though, after it's all said and done, I'm like, okay, Kyle O'Reilly and Mox can put on a match, which we'll get to that later. So I was excited at that, but I almost kind of thought maybe Andrade maybe could be that'd be a heck of a main event, especially on a free weekly show. I like that episode, and I kind of wanted Kingston or Yuta in the main event tonight. I mean, we all kind of knew going into this when they announced Mox would take on the winner, and the winner with that would go into Forbidden Door. We all kind of knew Mox is going to go ahead and go over that main event.
Right.
So, who can you put in that main event to steal the show? Yeah, they did a good job. Don't be wrong. We could have went in a different direction and everybody's still been happy.
Well, at the very start, Darby Allin's the first one that comes out, and right away he comes out, I'm like, okay, I can see that. That makes sense. Him and Moxley put on a banger of a match. He's a crowd favorite. He's a big name in AEW. The other first 5 entrants were Daniel Garcia, Tony Nese, Lance Archer, and Eddie Kingston. Like you said, yeah, I would have been all about Eddie winning. But of course, they wanted to further the storyline with the Blackpool Combat Club and the Jericho Appreciation Society. The next 5 entrants: Ricky Starks, Jake Hager, Ray Phoenix, Swerve Strickland, and Keith Lee. We saw Tony Nese get eliminated by Keith Lee. I saw Archer get eliminated by Keith Lee. So Keith Lee was on fire when he came into the ring. Then we saw John Silver, Max Caster, the Ass Boys, and I always struggle pronouncing this guy's name. He's the young guy from he's not even from New Japan. He's from he fought Hangman a couple weeks ago. You know who I'm talking about? It looks like Takashita, but I don't think that's how you pronounce it.
No, it's yep.
I mean, he's a stud. I need to learn how to say his name because they say it every week, and I botch it every week. I did like Max Caster's usual rap. I liked him ripping on Patrick Mahomes. As a Broncos fan, I appreciated that. Next 5 entrants: Powerhouse Hobbs, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, Dante Martin, and Wheeler Yuta. We saw Caster eliminate Phoenix. Both of the Ass Boys got eliminated by Keith Lee. Then Keith Lee got eliminated by his tag team partner, Swerve Strickland. The crowd didn't like that.
No, it was. You don't want them to split. I really think they're really good together, but
I do too.
I don't know.
Then the Joker was Andrade El Idolo, which makes sense. Kind of surprised me though. Usually the Joker's somebody making a debut, but Andrade's been off TV for a little while since the coffin match that he lost to Darby. So I was fine with him making an appearance. He's a good wrestler. John Silver
was his honeymoon.
Yes, he married Charlotte Flair, or Ashley Fleer, as her real name is, outside the ring. John Silver eliminated by Powerhouse Hobbs. Daniel Garcia eliminated by Kingston. Kingston then eliminated by Jake Hager. Hager eliminated by Yuta. Tokashita, I know that's not how you pronounce it, but I'm rolling with it because I'm just.
No, it is.
Eliminated by Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks. Dante Martin eliminated by Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks. Then Ricky Starks was eliminated by Phoenix. Bobby Fish was eliminated by Darby Allin. Darby was eliminated by Swerve Strickland. Swerve was eliminated by Andrade. Powerhouse Hobbs was eliminated by Wheeler. The final 4 was Phoenix, O'Reilly, Yuta, and Andrade. Let's see. Then we had Andrade get eliminated by Yuta and O'Reilly. And it came down to O'Reilly and Wheeler Yuta. And O'Reilly gets the win, and his push continues.
I like it. I just don't see him separated from Bobby Fish yet.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a start. Don't get me wrong. His in-ring is awesome. Then I just go back to that segment he had with Tony. It's just...
Yeah, his mic's work's not the best.
Yeah, and we're kind of spoiled because if you think of the guys we look on the mic, we got Mox, we got MJF, which completely no mention of that tonight, but that's an whole another subject. But you got guys like that, Jericho, and then you throw O'Reilly on there. And again, he's not bad, but we're spoiled.
Bro, we are, and so, really.
It makes him look bad.
I mean, you think about the push he's gotten the last month and a half. I mean, he beat Phoenix, I believe it was. He beat Darby. He beat Jungle Boy. And now he wins this. It's like Tony's really pushing him. And I know he signed a 5-year deal, so maybe that's part of the reason why he's pushing him so hard.
Yeah, I mean, you want to keep him engaged. And, 3 years down the road, you don't want him to say, hey,
right,
I want my release. I'm jumping ship.
Right.
But, yeah, no. Again, you cannot take away what that dude does between the ropes. But hey, like you said, he's only been there for what, 6-7 months now? Has it been that
long? Yeah, it was around December, maybe. I think.
Okay. So 6-7 months. So I mean, he's got a while to go. But I mean, he was a good choice tonight. It's just that little interview with Tony kind of drummed it down a little bit.
I know most of the IWC did not like him winning, but I'm kind of like you. I looked at the field. I'm like, there was no clear-cut winner. I
would have liked Andrade. I think Mox and Andrade could have had a good match.
Yeah.
Now, the only good thing there between O'Reilly and Mox is both of them are just brawlers.
Yes,
brawlers. They're going to beat the tar out of each other, where Andrade is a little bit more finesse, a little more lucha libre.
Yep.
So, I mean, if you want a hard-hitting main event, we got it tonight.
Oh, we definitely got it. And really, a year ago at this time, that was a Wednesday Night Wars dream match.
Mm-hmm.
That we didn't think was going to happen. So, once again, we're spoiled.
we're spoiled. So, again, I was okay with him going over in the Battle Royal. Just wasn't my favorite Battle Royal.
Yep. We then see Moxley backstage cutting a promo, pretty much saying O'Reilly's in the wrong place at the wrong time as the forbidden door belongs to him. He ends the segment with saying he loves his mom. I'm just like, that's just John being John. I mean, just
random.
JR revealed that CM Punk's lower leg surgery is complete and doctors were happy with it. So that's good. I knew he was going to be getting surgery, but I didn't know when. And then we got a new championship revealed tonight. Didn't see this coming.
This is out of left field.
The All-Atlantic Championship, which promises to bring fans the best of the best, will represent the fans in all countries around the world who watch AEW. Tournament is kicking off with wrestlers from all around the world, and the winner will be crowned in a fatal four-way at Forbidden Door. First match of that, Buddy Matthews versus Pac, and this match lived up to the hype.
Yeah, one of my favorite matches in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome. But before we get into that, All-Atlantic title, I mean, we just forget about the Pacific? You got to go across the Pacific to get to New Japan.
I know. And at first, when they're introducing title, I'm thinking, okay, is this going to be the trios? But then as they were talking about it before revealing what it was, I'm like, nah, this doesn't sound like it's going to be a team title of any sort.
Yeah.
And then they reveal it, and I'm like, really? Another mid-card title? I mean, the TNT title hasn't been booked very well this year, and now we're getting another mid-card. But then when they reveal the bracket, I'm like, okay, I can get on board with the matches at least to begin this title.
Yeah, and you can almost see this being used in ROH or New Japan too.
Right.
So there's going to be a mix of guys. This title could be used across a couple of different promotions. So if it's done right, we'll like it.
Exactly, if it's done right. If not, we're getting into that dangerous category of too many titles. And, I mean, that's what NXT found themselves in not too long ago. It's like too many titles. A lot of them don't even get airtime.
It's just like having the Intercontinental title and the U.S. title on the same program.
Right.
It doesn't work. We're over it. Next.
Right. So we'll see how they work it out. But it's a great match between Buddy and Pac. Wasn't surprised with the end result, which saw Pac win with one of my favorite moves in all wrestling, the Black Arrow. He doesn't seem to get to hit it a lot, but when he does, I'm always just like, my jaw drops. I'm like, how can he do that? Like,
I can do it.
I want to see that. Can you land it on Paul next weekend at the Rochester Moves?
Ooh. I need to have one of those race car Hans device so my neck doesn't break.
Fair enough.
And we need to reinforce the ropes.
Fair enough. This match was back and forth, though. Really fun match. Like I said, Pac got the win with Black Arrow. I did like the entrance of Buddy Matthews, though. I love the why am I blanking on his group's name? House of Black.
House of Black, yeah.
Yeah, the House of Black's entrance. I like how you didn't see all the individuals' faces, but you saw the outlines of them, including Julia Hart. Their entrance is so cool. And I didn't realize till tonight this was Buddy's singles debut match in AEW.
Yeah, we've only seen him a couple other times, but it's always been in tag or trio.
Yep. Yeah, he's 6-0 as trios, and this was a callback 205 Live match.
What was that? 4 years ago? 5 years ago?
Would have been a while. I mean, both these guys have changed their look up completely.
You think they both make 205 now on the scale?
I would say Buddy probably does.
I don't know, dude. He's ripped. I mean, he's put some
the way he can move still though is just
no, both of them move like cruiserweights and luchadors or whatever you want to call them.
Right.
But interesting on the other side of the bracket is Malachi.
Yeah, Malachi versus Penta. That's gonna be fun.
That'd be crazy.
And then you got a New Japan matchup, and then the match we get next week's Ethan Page versus Miro. I like Ethan Page.
Miro goes over.
Yeah, no way. I think Miro wins the whole thing.
Ooh. Depending on who New Japan puts in there, but I would really like to see a Miro versus Malachi match.
Yeah,
I think those guys.
I could get on board with Malachi.
Yeah,
having the title too.
Yeah, those guys could. Again, it's going to be a 4-way. I get it, but
yeah. And I would say Pac because he's probably long overdue, but it makes me nervous with him not living over here in the States.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I'm gonna go back to your old uncle Jim Cornette here doing a 4-way, kind of lazy booking.
It is.
I mean, where if you do this right and actually have a championship match on Forbidden Door, could make it that much bigger, much more. But
True.
now we're gonna have a 4-way. Yeah. Okay. Again, we're gonna enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, but we can take it a step further.
Oh, I know, and I think Forbidden Door, it's got to be a great show. But I am a little concerned, like seeing some of the matches or what I think is going to be matched. I'm like, there's going to be a lot of team aspect matches on this card,
which is New Japan. New Japan always has a 4 or 8-man or a 10-man tag. They always have a couple of those on every card they have.
Right.
Which, again, the guy that's going to defend this thing right here makes it even harder. So quit being lazy booking. Give me a match. Give me a bad match.
Yeah. I think we need to tag a TK in a tweet there. We did see Eddie Kingston backstage. He's saying they gave him a minute, but he doesn't need that. Jake Hager cost him the chance to be world champion. He says he hates the rest of the Jericho Appreciation Society. He demands that the staff doesn't count him down. He makes it clear he wants Hager on Rampage this week. Loved it. I thought that was great. He brings the cameraman into the camera. He mentions the NBA and the NHL.
Yeah.
There's only one Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, he's real.
Yep.
Which I really think I've talked about this on other podcasts with you guys. We always watched that 30 for 30 on Ric Flair. Okay.
Yep.
Ric Flair admitted he lived his character. He could not separate the character from his real life.
Right.
And I get that feeling with Eddie.
I do too.
This is Eddie 365 days a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it. And we buy into it and we're hooked. Yeah. He's awesome. At the Forbidden Door match, though, I mean, yeah, he got this thing going on with Hager, but he's been showing up on some New Japan shows, and I want to say the guy he's going after is Kodo. Is how you pronounce the last name?
I believe so.
They've had some altercation, so I think we'll see that at Forbidden Door. But yeah, Eddie's the man.
Yeah, he is. I mean, the fans love him. He's got to get a world title reign eventually, doesn't he? Even if it's only for like a month.
I was getting that. So just say in the next 24 months. I mean, you gotta give him something, don't you?
Yeah.
Just because he's that over. I mean, I still think. Well, my original thought was MJF would take it off of Punk, but who the heck knows? So
yeah.
But yeah, I think you got to give him a little rub here in the next 24 months. He's an older dude.
Yep.
In the aspects of these other guys. So
you could have him be the one to take it off Punk. It's somewhere close to his hometown, or somewhere in New York, and he could have just a short reign for like a month, and then if MJF's in good graces with the company by then, you could have him, or you could have Wardlow or somebody younger take it off Eddie then and make it.
Well, I know we're going to get into the whole Wardlow thing, but I like Wardlow going after the TNT title right now.
I do too. I know a lot of people didn't, but I do. I
think it's a good fit.
Yep.
So
we then get Trip Beretta makes his way to the ring, and I'm sure you know this from listening and watching our past podcasts. I'm not a Best Friends fan. I know Paul is. Trent's a good worker in the ring. So's Chucky T. Orange Cassidy's never been my thing. I understand why a lot of people find them entertaining, but so when he was on the mic, I'm like, okay, this is kind of boring. But then he brings up being bummed out that Roppongi Vice didn't get to win the ROH Tag Team titles. He believes they deserve another shot. Calls out FTR. FTR comes out to a big pop. You can tell they're still loving being baby faces.
Hey, real quick, you notice that FTR does not carry the AAA titles anymore since
I did notice that.
They're still AAA champions.
Right.
I don't know if TK wants to. I would say bury him, but just let him know that hey, we're gonna push ROH over AAA. Right. But I still think it's a better effect if you got a title over each shoulder.
Right. Even though the AAA tag team titles are the worst looking belts in professional wrestling, in my opinion, because they look plastic. Yeah. But yes, I agree. The more gold you have, the better. So might as well show it off. But Cash Wheeler says the results of the match didn't set well with them either. They want to show that they are the best tag team on the planet. Dex Harwood said if it was up to them, they'd have done it tonight. But Trent's partner's in Japan, and the problem he has shouldn't be with them. It should be with Will Ospreay's Bitch Boys. The United Empire music then hits. So I'm like, all right, here comes Cobb and his partner, but then Will Ospreay comes out. Crowd Crowd's shocked. I'm like, all right, here we go. This we're heating up now. And then he waves his hand, and the United Empire members appear attacking FTR and Trent, laying them all out inside the ring. Then Ospreay nails Trent with his finisher as the faction stands tall.
Yeah, I'm a big Ospreay fan. I've seen him work a couple times.
Top 5 talent in the ring, in my opinion, in the world.
Yeah, they made that comment on.
I know they call him like top 3, but I think he's top 5 at least.
Yeah, I mean, I would put him up there. There's some guys on the shelf right now that would give him a run for his money, but no, yeah, great to see him on television. Again, he's one of those guys that he's doing it different. He's doing it his way.
Right.
He's not chasing. So, yeah, good to see him on TV. A couple of times he was in our area, just up in South Bend, and I tried to make those shows, but life happens. But anyways,
we'll get the one eventually. They come around enough.
But yeah, awesome to see him on TV, and it's going to be. He's going to be a big part in Forbidden Door.
Well, yeah, we get a match. I thought we'd maybe see a Forbidden Door Friday night on Rampage. United Empire versus FTR and Trent.
Yeah.
All right, I can that on free television. Sign me up. Once again, we're spoiled.
Yeah, we are.
We did see Kyle O'Reilly backstage with Tony Schiavone, and William Regal appears and says he taught them a lot over the years, talking to Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. He asked Kyle if he's ready for tonight. He gives him his best wishes, saying it will hurt him as he commentates as O'Reilly gets his head caved in. Kyle says he came here to fight the best and fight for the title, and tonight he does both.
Well, a little bit of a dig at NXT, right? Like I told you guys, I was the head guy in NXT for a while, or whatever. You got the Undisputed Era standing right there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of like the little dig by Regal. I like Regal. I've always liked Regal back in the WCW days. Always been a fan of his, the way he's done his character. So,
yep. Oh, he's an underrated asset to any company who has him in there. I mean,
yeah. I mean, and I could be wrong, but I don't think he ever held a main title, a heavyweight title in either WCW or WWE, did he?
No.
I know he had some European title runs and maybe an Intercontinental title run.
I believe so, yeah, but that was it.
A US title run in WCW, but he never was a main guy, but he was always good. He was always there to count on, and he put on a good show.
He had a tag team title run at one time, at least one, but no world title. So we then got a match between Adam Hangman Page and David Finlay. This is Fit Finlay's son, right?
Correct.
Okay, because I know he's a 4th generation they were talking about, so I'm like, okay. Because I had heard of him. I'd never seen him work before, though. So
so you remember Juice Robinson?
Yep.
So him and Juice had a little run at IGW.
Well, Finn Juice, right?
Finn Juice, yeah. So they were tag team titles there in New Japan.
That's right. Yeah, Paul's screwed against you. You're gonna smash him at Forbidden Door.
So they had a little bit of a title run there. He also worked with Lance Archer in the U.S. title there in New Japan. So again, another guy that obviously his dad worked with WWE forever and was behind the scenes, but
and WCW too.
Yeah, and then he was trained by him and his dad. Worked over in Germany and Europe. Robbie Brookside, which is Paige's dad.
Yes.
Was in a match with him. I think it was actually he tagged with his dad, and that was Fitz's final match. But anyways, and then he went over to New Japan, was trained, and then he was a young lion at one point. And then announced in about 2017 or 18 he was done being a young lion, and just worked his way up. So spent a lot of time in Japan. I think he's a great talent and has a ton of potential. So yeah, excited to see him work with Hangman. They had a brief storyline. I'm trying to think. I can't remember who Hangman beat, and he got involved. But again, it was over in Japan 3-4 years ago. But yeah, there's some history there, and he could be a very, very good talent here in the next 5 to 6 years.
Well, yeah, this was a good match. I mean, Hangman ended up getting a win, which was predictable with the buckshot lariat, but I liked it. I was impressed with David Finlay, it being the first time I'd really seen him work a full match. And how about Hangman sipping a fan's beer? First time we've seen him do that
in a while.
at least since prior to Moxley entering rehab last year.
Well, Hangman was really, really funny about COVID.
Yeah, that's true too.
When COVID happened, he kind of went home for a while, which to each their own, no judgment. So you grab some dude's beer that you've been drinking on, and you're gonna rip a sip. I guess it's you're over that fact now. But no, a little back to the Hangman and Dark Order days when he was drinking too much.
Yep. When he was trying to get the title from Omega. So, but good match. And after the match, Hangman gets on the stick, says there's a lot he wants to say about the world title, but not tonight. He wasn't in the Little Battle Royal. He doesn't seem like he's going to get a title shot anytime soon, but he knows there isn't just one world title in professional wrestling. So at Forbidden Door, he wants the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, and he wants Okada.
Yes, I'm in.
Yeah, please.
My money.
Please.
Holy shnikes.
Then Adam Cole comes up off the commentary table stating that it could be his good buddy Jay White who is champion. He tells Paige he's not a champion anymore. He lost the title while Cole won the Owen Hart Foundation tournament, and nobody will stop him. Cole believes he should get a shot at the title because he's the franchise player in AEW. I like both these guys, but we've already seen this. I don't want to see a program between these two again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so sick of that belt. It sounds bad because it's the Owen Hart belt and it means great things.
Right.
It does not look like the 1992 tag championship from WWF.
Well, and it was cool like the last week, when it's still fresh in everybody's mind to wear it, him and Britt both. But are they going to wear it every single week?
It looks like they are.
Yeah, that's going to get old fast. And I hate saying that because I don't know. I just don't want it to be used a prop like MJF's ring, I guess.
Yeah. I think you're going to see it for a while,
probably.
Just to keep that in your mind. But
yeah,
I don't want to see another Hangman Cole right now. Just it's not right, especially going into Forbidden Door. So I don't know. There's so many good guys that could be put with Cole.
Yeah, or you can even have that. I think a lot of people were expecting Bullet Club versus Undisputed Elite.
It's true. The Bullet Club right now, I think the Bullet Club guys hold the tag titles at least.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, now you got Ace Austin in the mix too with the Bullet Club. So I don't know. But I want Hangman versus Okada. At the end of the day, that's want that. I mean, man, that'd be great.
And I know it's a fantasy booking, but I mean, can you imagine putting the IWGP title on Hangman, and then you got a healthy Punk coming back, and then you have a unification match?
Yeah.
Holy! I mean, like you said, come Labor Day for that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And Hangman Okada, we've seen that before, but that was 4 or 5 years ago, and these guys are completely different wrestlers, especially Hangman now.
That was back when Hangman was Bullet Club.
Right. And he wasn't near the wrestler he is today. So, that would all be great. And I'm sure you keep up with World Wrestling enough. I'm sure you saw Tanahashi said he wants to face Punk in the G1.
Yeah. I would
not the G1 at Wrestle Kingdom.
Wrestle Kingdom,
yeah.
So, okay, I'm in.
Just the fact that there's a good chance we're going to see Punk in New Japan at one time just blows my mind.
Yeah. Get him healthy, and I'm in. Speaking
of getting him healthy, Tony Schiavone welcomed Wardlow to the ring for an interview. Crowd was chanting his name. Schiavone claims Wardlow opted not to be in the Battle Royal earlier, and he knows there's something on his mind. Wardlow says the reason for that is that CM Punk is the champion, so if he's not beating him, he doesn't want the title yet. Wardlow tells Punk to heal up quick because when he does, he'll be waiting when he gets back. However, there's a title he does want, one that few men have carried that put respect to it. Since then, those men have diminished it. It was a title he had won 3 months ago, and he has thought about it every night since. Wardlow wants the TNT title as it's time for a change around here. This leads to Scorpio Sky coming out, walked to the ring, but Lambert and Ethan Page come to stop him, claiming he has a bad knee. Wardlow says, "Take your time to get ready. I'll wait till you're 110%."
Yeah, I like like I said, I think we talked about it earlier. I like Wardlow going after this title. He doesn't immediately jump into the world title,
right?
Which is flooded right now with what's all going on. No, they're building him slow. This is going to take a year to get Wardlow to where we want him to be.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, his new entrance with the music coming in late, he's over. Let him do this for a year, and hopefully in the year he builds on his mic skills.
Right.
He could work there. I'm not knocking on the guy.
He just hasn't had an opportunity, really. I mean, he's not.
Yeah, he hadn't had an opportunity to speak because he's been MJF's, security guard and just
heater. Yeah.
Yeah, just stand there and look good. But yeah, no. Good move by TK here. Work him up. I could see down the road him doing this, maybe even getting a couple shots, or even getting a tag title shot with an ally, not necessarily winning it, but just kind of delaying that program until it's time to push him for the world title.
Right. It kind of reminds me, I mean, not night and day, but of Jade's run right now. I mean, they got her in the TBS title mix. They're building her up to eventually go after the world title, but they're still taking their time with her because she still is green. Wardlow's green in some areas, like we said, the mic, just because he hasn't had many opportunities. So, I kind of chuckled to myself about the reasoning. I mean, I'm all for seeing him against Punk. Don't get me wrong. Eventually, but I was just like, why? I mean, still the reasoning there. You could have just won that, gone on, won the main event, win at Forbidden Door, and then you're getting a face Punk anyways. But
yeah,
that's.
I almost look at this like, if I don't want to bring him up, but if you look at John Cena's run back in the day, he went through all the belts before he got his first title reign, and I almost feel like they're going to do that with Warlord.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah, and they worked Cena's skills on the mic. Eventually, he became awesome on the mic.
Yeah.
So let him get a mid card title and work his way up. So yeah, play it. Definitely slow play it, and he'll be all right.
Yeah, and Scorpio as a champion, I mean, he's been okay. It's just the whole America Top Team Sammy Guevara storyline just took the TNT title out.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't see Sammy this week. He was over in
Italy.
Paris getting engaged, I guess.
Yeah.
Which, good for them, whatever.
Yeah, good, yeah.
I'm over Dan Lambert.
Oh, I've been that way for a while.
I mean, at first he was cool, but now I'm over him. So
at least he didn't take any just stupid shots this week at, well, I guess that storyline's over. I was going to say at Tay Conte, and I don't know. He just takes some shots like, dude, you're trying to get that cheap heat. Been there, done that.
We had the match there with Paige. So, I mean, are we going to see Paige doing some single matches on Rampage or Elevation or Dark?
Probably.
So, be her mouthpiece on those shows.
Right.
But
Scorpio
is a big boy. He can be on his own.
Yes, he can.
Especially Ethan Page. Ethan Page is a hell of a talker.
Oh, he is. And that's why I feel bad for him going against Miro next week, because I'm like, he's a really good talent that still hasn't got really a big win, at least a singles win yet in AEW. So,
yeah.
But when you have a low roster, that's going to kind of happen, I guess. Mark Sterling appeared after Wardlow's segment and says since he's a nice guy, he gives Wardlow two options. He can face him in the court of law, or he can wrestle 20 security members in an elimination match next week. Either way, he pays. So we're going to see Wardlow beat up 20 security guards next week.
Actually, I kind of like this.
I do too. It's fun. Actually. It's something fun. I mean,
and if you looked at the guy, he's on the screen, our on-screen right.
Yes,
Kind of
with the
bigger dude.
tattoos.
If you looked at him, he had his arms crossed. He was flexing. He was like he was into him. Like, man, I just hope he gets powerbomb twice.
Yep.
Again, he's playing the part. He's doing his job.
Yep.
And I like it, but it's just like, yeah, we're going to see a 5-minute match where he power bombs 20 guys.
Yep.
We're going to see 20 power bombs in 4 minutes, and it's going to be awesome.
It's truly going to be a powerbomb symphony, and I just can't wait to see the presentation of it, to be honest. Next week's show looks to be really, really good. Speaking of next week's show, we see the Young Bucks appear as they recap their performances from last week. Matt says they're back and they want their World Tag Team titles back. Then the Hardys appear, and Matt Hardy heard what they said, but at Double or Nothing, the Hardys won. Christian Cage then comes on and says the champions, and who then appear with them. He doesn't think either team deserves a shot. Christian recalls how Jungle Boy got pinned in his hometown, and they're all about getting their wins back, which Jungle Boy made an interesting face when he was talking about that. He throws out a challenge, a match that made them household names. Next week for the World Tag Team titles, the Hardys versus the Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express in a ladder match. That leaves a Jungle Boy questioning Christian Cage, but it appears the match is set.
I don't think we need to see the Hardys in a ladder match right now.
Jeff might die.
They can barely walk.
I mean, especially Jeff. I mean, that's why he wasn't on last week, because he supposedly had a concussion at Double or Nothing.
Well, he supposedly didn't remember the whole match.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, now we're throwing him into a ladder match where the dude he's got a swanton off something. I mean,
well, yeah, there's going to be a 10-foot ladder, 6 foot.
Yep,
a swanton through 2 guys through a table. I mean, it's a spot he's done 100 times.
Yep.
I go back to that ladder match we had with the Hardys, Bucks, and the Briscoes back in ROH.
Right.
And that was ridiculous.
That was balls to the wall.
That was ridiculous. There was bodies flying everywhere. There was ladders. There was tables, and there was just debris everywhere.
Well, it's interesting because you look at these teams. I mean, we haven't really seen Jungle Boy be a high flyer. I'm sure he could, but like Luchasaurus is the one I'm looking at. I'm like, he doesn't. Where does he fit in this equation of a ladder match?
Yeah. I mean, you're going to get your spots between the Bucks and the Hardys,
right?
I mean, you could see 6 foot. Was he 6'6", 6'7"?
Yeah.
What if he moonsaults off the top of a ladder?
He loves to do that. I mean, he's acrobatic.
He can do it.
So, I mean,
and again, KOP's not on the docket next week, but I could see a title change.
I think it's time, and
I can see it.
Christian's gonna push one of the guys off the ladder. I don't know.
You've been saying that for 16 weeks.
Yeah, I'm sticking to it, and I'm probably gonna be wrong. But okay, Shep, who walk? Okay, so you're saying new champs, Bucks or Hardys?
Hardys.
I think so too.
Hardys, and it's gonna be a quick title run.
Yep.
I don't even know if you would if they win it and they lose at Forbidden Door, whoever they face, whether it's I would say whether it's FTR, but they're not going to face FTR now with what FTR's got going on. Maybe you see a random New Japan team, I'm not saying them, but some guys that have been together, that challenge them and do it. But yeah, I see them. They're on their final run. They've already said they're on their final run here this year in 2022.
Right.
So I could see them. They're going to get a title reign, but it's going to be short and sweet.
Yep, I agree. I think you're right on that. It wouldn't shock me though if the Bucks win, but I don't know. I'm like they've had a title reign once already.
I almost kind of see the Bucks going into Forbidden Door against some old rivals, against the Bullet Club, which they used to be a part of the Bullet Club, or
right.
Some of the guys they faced in the junior heavyweight or junior tag weight division. So I don't know. Yeah. Again, if I'm gonna have to pick a team, I'm picking the Hardys, but my confidence points are definitely under 5.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Absolutely. I thought the Bucks Lucha Bros match from Rampage last week was another kick-ass match. I mean, anytime you get those guys, and the Bucks revealed on BTE that they asked they wanted to be openers, and Tony said they could have whoever they wanted to face. They said Lucha Bros because that's their favorite tag team to face.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They put on some darn good matches, whether it's just ROH, AEW, AAA. They put on a heck of a
Yep.
match back in the day. So
Everywhere they go, it's
Yep.
just chemistry. We then got the AEW Women's Championship match. AEW loves to do this on Dynamite, just kind of throw one together. But Marina Shafir, to her credit, was number 5 in the rankings coming into the night, so it wasn't like she was way off the radar. But she got a title shot against Thunder Rosa. Interesting match. This was a better showing for Shafir than it was against Jade Cargill when she was challenging for the TBS title. Thunder Rosa gets the win with a roll up, but Shafir attacks her after the match until Toni Storm makes the save. Then Toni comes out on top with a German suplex. Rosa then plants Shafir on the mat, but Storm then grabs the women's title to hand it over, but she pauses first, and you kind of got a ooh from the crowd. So looks like we're setting up a program for Toni Storm versus Thunder Rosa.
Which I hate to say this, but I feel that Thunder Rosa's title reign's been
Hasn't been good.
subpar.
Yeah, easily.
Um,
Well, I'm looking at the rankings today during lunch. I'm like, okay, Nyla Rose is number 1. We've seen that a million times. Britt
Yeah.
Baker's number 2. Seen that. So then I'm like, then there was Toni Storm and Marina Shafir, and I don't remember the other gal who was on there, but I'm like, where do they go with this? So
Yeah.
it kind of makes sense.
Thunder Rosa and Toni Storm, I can get on board with that. Thunder Rosa is awesome in the ring,
Mm-hmm.
and she's had a couple passionate promos, but as of late, her and Toni do not jive like Toni and Britt.
No.
And so I don't know, I can't get really involved in it. And then I got to thinking going into Forbidden Door, that's one part of New Japan is I don't pay attention to is the women division. And they don't have I
don't think they have one.
They don't. Well, there's been a couple matches, but I don't think there's much there.
But I think it's been reported that they're not going to have any female talent on Forbidden Door. I think.
Okay.
I think so. Maybe AEW might, but I don't think New Japan is.
Okay.
I think I read that somewhere.
Yeah, there's not a big direction to go with Thunder Rosa right now. So,
right.
Again, her in-ring talent, awesome. Just work on the mic. Again, maybe I'm just saying that because we're spoiled in what the heck we listen to all the time. And then the time she gets to speak, it's just underwhelming.
Right. We then got a short backstage segment with Jade Cargill and the baddies hyping up Red Velvet versus Chris Statlander on Rampage for Friday. And then Jade's starting to get a little rapport with Tony Schiavone with her line every week, hitting that line. So that's starting to catch on. I don't know. I feel like these ladies are in a segment every week backstage. So
they are, and eventually you're going to have Jade. I feel like Jade will end up taking the women's title, and then she'll relinquish the TBS title, and they'll have a tournament or something like that.
Yeah, I could see that because right now they haven't built anybody up well enough to take it from her.
No, and I feel like her in-ring work is getting better.
Yeah, it is.
When she first started back in the day with like Shaq, it was a little shaky.
Sure.
But I think you can tell she's a heck of an athlete, and she's working on it, and it's a lot better.
Sounds like she's been working with Danielson and Regal a bunch. So those are two good guys to learn from.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to learn from somebody, I guess.
Sounds like those guys go in the day of Dynamite at like 11 a.m. and then they work clear up to Dynamite with different talents. So it's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
We then got the main event, Jon Moxley versus Kyle O'Reilly, with the winner earning an interim AEW World Title shot at Forbidden Door. This, I thought this match was going to be good, and I enjoyed it a lot more than I even thought I would because it was just a grappler match. I mean, it was a hard-hitting match. And Kyle O'Reilly held his own, but in the end, Moxley got the win with a Regal knee followed by the Paradigm Shift. He's going to the Forbidden Door.
I like that they called out the Regal knee, by the way.
I did too.
But did you notice about 3 minutes in, Moxley was bleeding from the mouth?
Yep.
So obviously that wasn't planned.
Nope. Refs had to get the gloves out.
He took a stiff shot. That's how stiff they worked. He took a stiff shot to the mouth. So that just made it a little bit more real.
Even some of those elbows they're hitting in the slaps. I'm like,
slaps.
it's hard to do a work slap sometimes when you're going that hard. So
You know that, and you can hear them ringing in the camera, and you can tell that. I mean, they're hitting it. They're hitting his face, and they're ringing. So imagine what they sound like in the
arena.
Well,
and O'Reilly's so good with his facial expressions and reactions, and he was looking dazed after he got smacked a few times.
And did you notice towards the end there, Moxley hit a cutter, and they said that cutter was so good it was almost a stunner. Did you hear? You notice that?
Yeah, the commentary was something tonight. JR, I like JR, but sometimes during match, I'm like, dude, you're crapping on the product. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, do this on your podcast, not during the live telecast.
Yeah. I thought I was like, man, he hit a really good cutter out of nowhere, and then he's like, it was almost a stunner. And I'm, okay, you're saying he's not as good as Stone Cold, I guess.
Right. AEW's version of Stone Cold.
Yeah, there you go.
But a good match. Moxley won like we were all anticipating, and it's got to be Tanahashi, right? There's no way Tanahashi. I mean, because if Tanahashi for whatever reason would lose at Dominion this weekend, then why the hell did you bring him on TV last week?
Right. Well, they brought him on TV last week before
Punk's injury.
Now, if they plan to save that, okay, a bigger buildup, but
true.
Yeah, it's got to be Tanahashi.
It's interesting with the report of Punk's injury. A lot of people are saying he got hurt on stage dive, not even in the match.
Yeah, I saw that too.
So if that's the case, he won't be stage diving anymore.
Yeah,
probably shouldn't have been anyways. But yeah, but his in-ring segment on Rampage was pretty emotional stuff. I mean, he was pretty tore up.
Well, and when he did that on Rampage, we were confused because it's like, did he drop?
Oh, the commentary screwed that up so bad.
I was confused, and then all of a sudden we have an interim title like 10 minutes later on Rampage. I'm like, oh, he didn't drop it, which he didn't. He didn't really drop it. If you listen to him, he didn't.
Right. He said he wanted to relinquish it, but Tony said no.
Yep, I'm coming back. Yep. So yeah, it was confusing, but
so I gotta think, and maybe with the interim title it'll be different. But I mean, with them not having him relinquish it, I'm thinking he could be back by All Out.
Yeah.
I don't know what exactly the injury is. If it's a broken foot, he can heal from that in 4 to 6 weeks.
Well, yeah, it was a broken foot and he had surgery on it. That dude will be walking in 2 weeks.
Right.
Therapy and then go. And then you're going to have Tanahashi and Punk at All Out. So
you think Tanahashi goes over Mox?
Yes, Paul, I do. Maybe.
So see, I'm for everybody listening or watching, I'm out of the Forbidden Door. Austin smashed me in Golf League last week. I didn't ask you what you shot. I shot that bad. I just assumed there's no way you lost to me. So I'm out. So it's just Paul against Austin at Forbidden Door.
Yeah, I think we got 17 or 18 points in Golf League last week.
Yeah, I'll talk to you off air about the score. I'm sure you spoke to me. I did not play well. But nonetheless, fun episode tonight. I mean, it wasn't the best Dynamite of the year, but I've seen worse. Overall rating.
Since I've been subbing in on the podcast, I've been spoiled. I've had some darn good episodes.
You have?
This one's going to be my worst. I'm going 6.9.
I was thinking right around there. I will bump it up a little bit. I'm going to go 7.1. It's hard for me to go below 7. I've done it before.
Yeah.
But when we were recapping it tonight, there was more that I liked about the show than I realized before I started talking about it. So.
It's a good build. It's a good stepping stone. There's a lot of stuff that happened tonight that's going to step to Forbidden Door and some Dynamites down the road before Forbidden Door. You know, we got the hair versus hair match
next week.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was a stepping stone. It just didn't wow me. I mean, I'm not sitting here doing cartwheels, which I can't do a cartwheel, by the way.
I can't either. Or not very well. So, Jericho's going over hair versus hair, right? There's no way Jericho goes bald.
Well, I don't know, man.
I would love it. I love it if he does, though.
Well, I just noticed he just announced his Fozzy tour,
Right.
but it's not till August.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
He could go back to the short hair, I guess. I mean, shave it, then he grows out a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. Man, I want him to lose.
I do too.
That's the fan in me, though.
Me too. Yeah.
Right. That's I guess that's the mark. I'm a mark. I want him to lose in that situation, but
so we got that. We got the ladder match next week, which will be crazy. We got Wardlow facing 20 security guards. This Friday night, we get on Rampage. We get Red Velvet versus Statlander, Kingston against Hager, United Empire versus FTR and Trent Beretta. We get an appearance from Hookhausen. So pretty loaded Rampage too.
Yeah, Rampage is gonna be fun. I love the hour shows. I really do.
Oh, they fly by.
They
fly.
do, and they pack them in. So and then next week looking good.
Yeah,
a couple good matches already. So
I mean, then we got. I mean, this is a hot month because then we got, of course, Forbidden Door coming up. We have Blood and Guts right after Forbidden Door.
Yeah,
in Detroit. A lot of good stuff coming up. So, who's your wrestler of the night tonight?
Kyle O'Reilly.
That's a good one.
I mean, and just throw out the. I mean, he was okay in the Battle Royal. Don't get me wrong, but his performance in the main event was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of knew he wasn't going to go over, but yeah, you talk about a guy that worked his tail off tonight. He deserves a couple Busch Lattes
yes, he does
when he gets behind that curtain with Kyle O'Reilly.
Well, I mean, I think his star level is starting to rise a little bit. I think amongst AEW fans, just because he has beat some really good opponents, and even though he lost tonight to Moxley, I mean, he was right there with them. So I think I'm still with you, though. I mean, he hadn't quite separated himself from Red Dragon, but I mean, he's here now. And Bobby Fish is here for me. So, but I'll go with Moxley tonight just because I'll take the easy cop way out. And
I figured you'd go with Pac.
I thought about it because
and when you go with that whole wrestler of the night,
yeah,
you know, is it his performance? You know,
it's whatever you want it to be. That's the beauty of it. How we do it on here.
You could word it a couple different ways. I thought Pac was my second.
Yeah.
You know, I was on the fence, so I kind of thought you'd go that way. But
I thought about it, but it's hard for me to go against whoever wins the main event usually. And and I'm all, even though I know you're saying you get Tanahashi over Mox. I hope Mox wins because I want him to be the first 2-time heavyweight champion in AEW, and I'd love to see him have another, even if it's a short reign till Punk comes back. I'd love to see him have a little reign with fans in attendance because he carried that company on his back in 2020
with no fans. Yeah,
which was really impressive.
I mean, if you're booking this, but wouldn't you want Tanahashi to come over and run a couple months in the States?
Oh, sure. If you got that good enough relationship with New Japan to allow it.
Yeah, you have that. I mean, that's the cool thing. Like, could you imagine those behind the door talks?
Oh man.
And you have him run a couple months, and then all of a sudden you have all these people in Japan who follow Tanahashi. All of a sudden they're going to pay the $39.95 or $49.95 for All Out. So are you TK and say, hey, look, I want to put this belt on this guy because I want the buys from Japan, his fans. I want those extra buys at All Out to watch him. I mean, is it a business decision or does he just? I mean, TK has more money than whatever.
Yeah. That's good. That's a good point. Because
you do it because you're a fantasy booker and you want that because you're TK and you've been a fan the whole time, or do you do it because you think, hey, I can pick up 100,000 pay-per-view buys from Japan?
Well, he came out today and he said the initial number looks like 155,000 buys for Double or Nothing. That's a lot of money.
Well,
think about it.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. You and I almost bought twice because
I still need to check, make sure I didn't get charged twice.
I think I got charged once, but
I know I got charged once, but I had to use two. I even used two different cards. I was furious.
I did too. It was Smith. Yeah, they weren't.
They got to get that fixed. I should have bought the night before. I usually buy it the day before, but I waited.
I think I was 2 or 3 hours beforehand, so I thought it was safe.
Yeah, it was a mess. I hope they figure that out eventually. I know that's a partnership with Warner, I believe, Bleacher Report, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I don't know. There's got to be something better than that. But let's get some wrestlers healthy. Goodness, across the whole professional wrestling world, guys are dropping like flies right now.
And no Bryan Danielson tonight.
No, it sounded like a possible concussion, which I hope not.
Yeah, that's the worst thing he could have.
Yeah.
Which he missed that meet and greet because he could not fly.
Right.
But the only reason you could not fly is if you had some head issues with pressure. So that was really scary. Talking about that, and then obviously Punk in his foot,
and then other promotions. Cardona just had surgery yesterday.
Did you see his stuff from GCW this weekend? I mean, the dude's awesome. I mean, some of those fans in GCW and the pictures were awesome, but like this guy is going to play it up. He put a neck brace on. He hurt his shoulder.
Yeah,
he put a neck brace on.
Yeah,
and his wife Chelsea Green, she played the part. Like, I mean, I don't know. The more I watch of him, I'm a bigger fan. I used to make fun of him in the WWE. I'll be honest.
Yep.
I thought I laughed when he won that Intercontinental ladder match at
and lost it the next night.
And lost it the next night, and it was a fluke. He lost it, I think, to the Miz, right?
Yes. Yep.
So, but he's an NWA champion, which that pulls some weight nowadays. Still, sure. I don't care what you think. I mean, they named a pay-per-view after him. Yeah. Always Ready.
Yeah.
So, and then anybody that is a diehard GCW fan hates him. So again, if you hate somebody that much, they're over.
Doing something right.
Yeah. So good for him. And I hope he gets healthy.
I am a little nervous. He's doing all of this and he sees the success Cody's having back in WWE. And he was one of the ones that told Cody to go back. Is he building all this up to try to go back to WWE and make one big run?
Him and Cody are best friends.
Yeah.
I don't.
Because I like if you would have asked me this 6 months ago, no way. He's doing fine on his own. But now and I usually don't give WWE a lot of props, especially on this podcast. But with the way they've used Cody, I think they've opened doors for a lot of guys to at least take a look.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I could see that, but he made a comment on a podcast. He's making more money now than he ever had.
Right.
And I can see he's happy.
Yeah.
He can do. I mean, he's a hell of a worker.
Oh, he is.
And I don't think he was underutilized in WWE. And of course, we could say that about a bunch of guys, but I don't. Maybe he can go back if they offer him the money, and good for him if he can make a paycheck because he earned it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see it anytime soon. And real quick, and I know since we're on the subject, Cody, holy shit. I mean, is he he has to be the biggest baby face in WWE right now.
Yeah, I mean, as you know, I'm a big Cody fan, have been for years. But what he did the other night, it takes he's in a legendary category now because, I mean, my God, in just the presentation of him taking off that jacket.
The coat.
Slowly. The whole arena went dead silent because they felt so uncomfortable. And you're like, I'm thinking, I'm not a doctor, so I'm thinking, oh my God, like he's going to hurt himself even worse. And like, this is stupid. What is he doing?
And it wasn't any type of body paint. That was
real. Yeah.
Skin color.
Yeah. There's a report he either got surgery today or he's getting it tomorrow. I'm not sure which one was correct.
I think it's tomorrow. I listened to Bully Ray this morning.
Yeah.
Yesterday morning. And Bully Ray on Busted Open basically just said that put him in legendary status.
If
put him in the most baby-faced over. And then on top of that, he says, I don't care what you say, I'm working Money in the Bank.
which he's not. He's not gonna, but the fact that he planted that in season, if they're smart with this, they save his return till the Rumble because that should be about the time period he's ready to go. And if you don't get Dwayne, if you don't get The Rock for the big WrestleMania match, you have Cody come back, huge babyface. He wins the Rumble, goes on to Mania, wins the title.
What if you do he comes back at the Rumble, but at the time you already have Roman and Rock set up.
Yep.
But you have it night 1.
Right.
And then Cody takes on the winner night 2.
Or even maybe, Rock and Roman probably doesn't need the title. I don't know how you get the titles off Roman. Maybe Drew takes one, and then you could, and I know people are tired, you could wrap the whole story around Seth Cody 4. Yeah. Seth wins, somehow gets the title from Roman, and then Cody gets it off of Seth.
Okay. Yeah. I know.
I don't know. WWE. Yeah, I know, but it's
whatever.
I wanted to bring up Cody because that was not only did he get through the match, it was a good match.
It was a great match. I mean, again, the only reason I tuned in to Hell in a Cell was to watch that match.
That was the only match I watched.
Yeah,
and he hit the pedigree. Finally.
So how do you think that conversation goes on backstage now? And the sledgehammer is involved.
I know.
But I think I saw the Twitter picture today, or was it maybe late last night? So that bruise is now down all the way to his wrist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got to be uncomfortable. So,
and I know Busted Open had a doctor, and the doctor pretty much said he couldn't do any more damage than what he'd already done. It's just, can he tolerate the pain?
Yeah, and they who were they talking about? Was it? I think it was Bully that tore his pec, and then was it Dreamer? I don't know. Either one of them. They were talking about how they had it done and they went to do some cardio, and they couldn't even do jogging because the motion hurt so bad. So it had to be Bully because Dreamer ain't gonna do cardio.
Dreamer doesn't have any pecs either. Let's be honest.
He has Oreos.
Yeah, that's very true.
They're built of Oreos. But anyways, like they talked about it like, hey, I did this once. I tried to jog on the treadmill and it was so painful I couldn't even do that. So
right.
They definitely put Cody over on Busted Open. So
well, part of me thinks maybe, and of course he's got to get back to the fans. I mean, there obviously was no way he wasn't going to go through with the match, but it sounded like he partially tore it in an angle Monday, and then he fully tore it on his own weightlifting. Yeah. Maybe he felt so bad that maybe he shouldn't have been weightlifting, and he did, and it made it worse. So he's like, I'm definitely going through with this. I don't know what his mindset was, but the fact that he went through with it, had a stellar match. Yeah, he's the biggest babyface.
So now Bully had a hell of a point. You follow his progress. You have cameras in that surgery room tomorrow. You do a documentary for the network.
Yep.
On the Peacock. And you follow him the whole way until he debuts at the Rumble or Survivor Series or whatever he can come back. And that keeps his name in your mind and it keeps him over.
Yep. Nope. 100%. That.
And they're smart enough over there in that other company to do that. I hope they are at least.
They have used Cody as well as they can so far. I mean, when the news was out, I was going to make the jump. I'm like, okay, it's going to be interesting how they use them. I was like, this is a big opportunity for them because if they use them correctly, once these AEW guys, their contracts come up, they're at least could probably take a look.
Yeah.
And so far they've done that.
All right. So we talked about Cody. I know we're off the subject of the show now.
Yep.
Elephant in the room.
MJF. Well, today, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful reported that a lot of talent backstage believes that MJF is pursuing some Hollywood opportunities.
Okay.
And that's why they think he was out there last week after the show and was meeting with some people in LA, something that had been set up since March.
So if that's the case, TK knows about it, so this is all work.
I still think it's a work. I think he's got Warner Discovery in on it. That's why they came out with that statement, pull them from all the material.
Yep.
I think it's got to be a work.
And even the YouTube videos came out when he was doing all that. Punk come running down, without a boot on. Like, what are you doing? Matt Jackson came out, who was one of the VPs.
Mm-hmm.
He looked, astounded. Like, what are you doing? Like, this is off script type deal. Again, which if you're in the house there, you played along with it. Like, this guy went rogue, but I don't think he did. I don't know. I want him to because I'm hooked, but it's too good to be true.
I think I literally think what started off as kind of a shoot has transformed into a work, because I still go back to, I don't think Tony would allow him to skip that meet and greet.
Well, they said
that the fans paid for.
They said it cost him $20,000 or $25,000.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's a huge chunk of money. There was some fans that went there just to see him.
Yeah. So
that's the part that confuses me. But as far as the rest, if you go back to his unbelievable promo last week, if he was really going off the rails, they would have cut his mic so much quicker than they did.
Yeah, because it was like the last 2 or 3 seconds they cut his mic.
Right.
So,
right.
Maybe we see him take a break.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to see him at Forbidden Door or Blood and Guts.
Nope. Maybe All Out.
All Out. I think that might be the soonest you see him is All Out.
Yeah, I mean, it might not, and it might be something he's not advertised, and he comes out and screws over the main event or something. I don't know, but it's going to be a big reaction when he does come back, because I mean they've pulled him from the website, they pulled all of his merch from the store.
Which the merch thing is like, you're thinking, man, that's some of those guys. That's how they make their living.
Yeah.
And if he had that bad of a contract, he needs his merch.
Right.
So, okay, hey, TK says, hey, look, we're not going to announce it, but I'm going to pay you this, and you're good. This is how we're gonna play everybody else. We're gonna get everybody hook, line, and sinker. So,
I think that's exactly what's happened. I think there's been a new deal now. Did the years get added on that deal? I don't know, but I think he's probably getting more money now than he previously was. But they have the wrestling world talking. Tony won't comment on it, so they're playing it pretty good so far.
And I remember, I think I sent you and Paul the little snippet of Tony Khan in the press conference after, and he had Punk sitting next to him, and he got fired up when somebody asked him about.
Oh, that was about Bischoff's comments.
Oh, about Bischoff, yeah.
Yep.
And I mean,
Bischoff went back at Tony this week, by the way, on 83 Weeks.
Oh, he did?
Mm-hmm. He invited Tony to come on the show anytime.
Ooh. Conrad
said he wants to get them both in the same room because he said they'd probably get along, which it got me thinking. Eric's been on Dynamite twice.
Yeah,
in the past, so they know each other. So, but yeah, Eric pretty much was making fun of Tony, and I mean, it was exactly what I thought Bischoff would say. So.
And I like Bischoff, but he still is a weasel.
Oh, I'm right there with you. I like him. He provides good content. I like his throwback episodes with WCW on 83 Weeks and his TNA stuff. But he's a guy I'm like, can't trust that guy.
Nope. And I don't know what kind of business he's in nowadays, but he still finds – I listen to a couple of his podcasts, and he talks about how he doesn't need wrestling anymore.
Right.
But he still shows up every once in a while.
Yep.
So –
he would jump on it in a heartbeat if somebody gave him a role. I guarantee it. He says he wouldn't. I bet he would.
Well, I remember 3-4 years ago when they hired him to be like literally in charge of SmackDown.
Yeah, it lasted like a week.
Yeah, he went to Connecticut, stayed there for maybe a month, and was like, all right, I ain't doing this.
Yeah.
They fired him.
He was doing SmackDown. Heyman was supposed to do Raw.
Yep.
It was this new look, and it didn't work out at all.
Yeah. That's why 78 years old, Vince McMahon is still in charge of everything.
And he didn't stop anybody from pushing his daughter out the door.
No.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's something.
what's best for business?
It's what's best for business.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So,
And I'm pretty sure she's okay. She's not going to be hurting.
Yeah, she'll be fine. But that's why I'm glad we have an alternative product to watch now. That's
Yes,
pretty
sir.
good, and that we're pretty spoiled with every week. That's what created this podcast. That's why we talk about it.
Yeah.
So
All right, we went on like a 20-minute rant.
we
there.
did. We did. But thanks everybody for listening. Thanks Shep for filling in on kind of a last minute notice. We appreciate it. Keep getting your picks ready for Forbidden Doors so you can defend that title against the Brooklyn Brawler himself. Buy KOP merch, everybody. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to our podcast wherever you get your podcast at. That's Apple Podcasts. Hit us with the Uncle Dave Meltzer 5-star. And Paul and I will be back next week. Same time, same night. Have a great week, everybody.
Peace.